So I've had this bike in the garage a couple of weeks ago. I've done quite a lot of work on it, to be honest. What have we done? Change new disc, new pads, front and rear. Done all the linkage bearings, swing arm bearings, shock bearings. Sorted the electrics out because the lights weren't working. What else to do? Oh, reshimmed the top because it was struggling to start. Anyway, he called me up at the weekend to say his KTM's really leaking oil. So I was like, right, okay, can you explain to me where it's coming from? So anyway, we're trying to diagnose where it was coming from. Thought it could have been coming from the oil filter. Thought the oil had been leaking. I'll say it was only leaking when the bike got hot. It was just spewing oil out every time the bike got hot. So yeah, thought it was coming out of the oil filter cover, but it's not that. And I thought, it's coming from here. It's got to be coming from here. So I stripped it down, realised there's no gaskets on it. It was just siliconed on. There's a gasket missing from there. There was a gasket missing from the starter torque limiter cover. That was just siliconed on as well. You can still see a bit of silicone there. So both gaskets were missing. I thought, there we go, that's it, we've cured it. So ordered the gaskets, stripping it all down to clean everything. And I found this. That pushes, the wiring pushes through that little slot, and then that sits in the groove. So I pulled that out just to give it a spray with disc brake cleaner. I found that. So it's not been pressed in there properly. It's folded an edge over. As the oil's getting hot and thinner, it's working its way up past the wires, and it was spewing out of there. So always check that that is in properly. So luckily it's been quite a cheap fix for him. But no, it turns out it's just this. So previous mechanic hasn't put that in properly. The ignition cover, they've not put any gaskets on there, they've just siliconed it on. The torque limiter cover, no gasket, just siliconed on. So we'll order a fresh set of gaskets. Get them on now, torque all the bolts up, and you can go out and ride it again. So I'm just going to go around, clean all the gasket surfaces, because there is little bits of silicone still on there. So I'll get it as clean as I can. If you haven't got one of these, get one. They're flipping brilliant. Motion Pro gasket scraper. Get a spare blade in there. Brilliant. think might put a bit of 3 bond around that, because it is, I mean, it's not knackered, but it'd definitely help it. Just a bit of 3 bond around the engine gasket maker. Well, that's all the surfaces cleaned off. Good enough for the gaskets. So I'll get it all back together. So let's get a bit of grease around this. There's an O-ring that goes around the starter shaft. So a bit of grease on there. Just a little bit inside there. I'm going to put a bit of 3 bond. This is good stuff. Just going to bob a bit around there. Just double check that that's in place pretty well. Yeah, it's definitely in that. torque them up to about 10 Newton meters. I'm just trying to fix the chain guard on. The bolt's in a really awkward place right behind the frame, but it's not too bad if you've got a small enough socket set. So I'll torque that one up to 10 as well. Right, so last bit, put the gear lever back on. Right, I think it's good to go. So I'll stand it up. So the bike's been stood up for, I don't know, about an hour. I'll just have a check. Make sure there is no oil. Make sure there's no leaks. That all looks pretty dry to me. So yeah, all seems pretty good. I'll check it again in the morning. I'll fire it up tomorrow, let it run. I think we're all good to go. I'll give that Yammer, that 3-bond chance to go off as well. You can just about see it down there. Because that was the culprit. That was where the leak was coming from. But it all seems good. Right, we're on the next day. No drips on the floor, which is a good sign. Let's have a look under here. Sound absolutely bone dry. Not one drip. Oh, looks good to me. So there's no battery on it at the minute. So I'll put the jump back on it, jump pack, and I'll fire her up and let her run for 5-10 minutes. Probably not even that long. Seems mint. She seems pretty damn good. Nothing's leaking, but I'll give it back to the owner and you can give it a test ride and report back to me. But in my eyes, it's all good and fixed.